Hi and welcome to another video in the RHCE video series. Today's video is on configure systems to a specific state. Again, we'll be using Ansible, of course, and basically what we take that to mean is we want the systems to come from a base image, so where we've got perhaps just Red Hat installed and maybe some of the custom applications you have for your specific environment, and we then use Ansible to add the additional specific requirements for the application. So it could be it's a web server, or it could be installed in MySQL, and basically we've just got to have an Ansible script that sets it up from start to finish. So in this case we'll continue on with the HTTPD example, but we'll just build on that a bit more. So we have it to install, start and enable the service, copy the config. We can do a bit of debugging here and there. We can do an Apache CTL to check the config, and then we can finally just double check the aligning the file for the actual website itself and make sure everything looks hunky-dory. So let's give that a go here. So we had this script from last time. So we had the installation of the HTTP services on a web server. We currently got target to all hosts. We're not gathering facts. We're becoming root, and then we're running the following tasks. I'll bring that back in. So we're going to install Apache. We're going to install the latest version of HTTPD. I'm going to turn off the check mode because I don't want it to. I want actually to do the installation. We're then going to select the service status, and we'll also just do, have I got enabled? Yes. No. So I'll have another entry there to do enable. So we enable the service on boot. We'll also have, we've got to check for the HTTP config, so we're making sure it's configured. I'll also do a copy of a basic HTML page, a very basic one, and we'll have that added there, and we'll just do a bit of debugs and whatnot, and then that should be all good from there. So let's beef this script up a little bit. So let's go vim and then HTTPD. Okay, so first thing I want to do is clean up this bit and make sure that looks all happy. Get rid of this, so we can just delete the line. Yep. So we've got install, we've got, oh yeah, this is the one where I wanted to supplement this slightly. Yes, so we set that to enabled on boot. We then check, so we're going to do a check for the HTTP config check. So what we do is I'll get rid of these registers. We don't want them anymore. So we're going to just check for the config. So we're happy with that. We could potentially move that from somewhere. Okay. So let me just go grab where I've put the config file previously. Okay, http.conf. Okay. So I want it to go in there, and it's just on the root. Okay. So we're going to install it and then check it's there, and we're going to also confirm that Apache likes it at the end as well. So let's go vim httpd. Cool. So let's do, rather than check, we're going to do update the HTTP config. We're then going to do an action of, so we've got the name. Okay. So now we just do a ansible.built-in.copy, and we'll mix up the format slightly, so we can use either one of these. So I'm just going to do a source root httpd.conf. Dest is one I prepared earlier. We don't need to worry about the owner. I think we'll leave that for now. We can always set the owner we could do the owner and group, and mode is we can pretty much set a root, for example, but yeah, it could be just www data. For example, we can set the owner, we could set a group, we could set also the mode. So we could say it's 0600. So we've got access to the for the only the actual owner of the file itself. So we just do a copy. I just want to keep it pretty simple there. There's nothing really to do. So we've installed it, we've enabled it and started it. We've updated the config. That's all looking pretty good. Let's just do a register. Let's do it here. So I need to do a register, and then we're going to do copy output. So I'm just going to get a debug copy. So I'm just going to get the debug output of that, just so I can see if it copied okay. So especially if you're doing it en masse, and if you have any failures, it'd be nice to know why it failed. So expand the brackets there, so we'll just get the output of the copy. Okay, so we then want to run a command to check the config itself we just set. So we just do a name check. I just added a space there because it was just looking a bit iffy there because it was highlighting it a bit dodgy. So I've added a space. I can't remember if that will cause an issue, but we'll soon see. I just want it to look good and it should be filling itself out correctly. That all looks okay to me. Normally we don't have a space, but this is requesting one, so I'm doing it, and let's see if this breaks it or not. Check config file is valid, and then we're going to do a ansible dot built in dot command. Okay, so the command will be Apache ctl config test. I've got that right. And we're then going to do another register. Conf test output. And then we're going to do a debug msg equals brackets conf underscore test underscore output brackets. Cool. So we've got that. That looks pretty good. And then I guess we finally just want to copy over the a test file. So I'm just going to create a quick blank document. So here's an example of one I've just downloaded earlier. So it's just a very simple index.html to put onto the website. So I'll do another copy. So it's just in the root directory. So let's go insert. Let's go back to that line. Give it a name again. And we just call it copy the base copy the website homepage, website files, for example. There will be more files potentially. You could have a directory you copy. It could be. So again, Ansible dot built in dot copy. We then do source root. Obviously, you'd have probably better file system than this, but this is again just an example. Index.html. Then the destination will be var www html index.html. That should be correct. Okay. And finally, let's just check file is check not file check so all these things should be good names really. So I've just got check 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 index html has updated. So we're just going to run a ansible dot built in command. We're going to do the grep as before, and we will just grep for this example paragraph, and it should be in var www html index.html. Okay, we're then going to register as index output, index grep output. I'm trying to give these good names. Index grep output, that looks good. We're then going to do a check underscore mode, because no, which you shouldn't really have to set, but ignore underscore errors, equals yes, and changed when no. So let's see what this does. I think I've got that all correct. Okay, so I actually need, yes, I need a debug. So I've just done the, okay, yep. So finally, I think now I need to do is debug. So let's give, so registered, we just need a debug message. Configuration. Successful update of file. And then we just need, just to make it look happy, when check, when index underscore grep underscore output dot return code is equal to 0. So we're just doing a grep, it's easy enough. Cool, I think that looks good. So I guess the only final thing I might add to that is, okay, so let's save this and we'll execute this shortly. So Okay, so let's give this a run and let's see what happens. I think this is that spacing issue. So what we can do is let's change it to this format and see if it helps at all. So everything looks a bit more happy here. Let's do the same here. Oh, yeah, so nobody gets out of whack. So let's do that. Just do a space here. Looks good. So need to, as the last debug is here. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing a. Yeah, that's the problem. I'm doing a message when I just want a var. So that can be a message. That's fine. This one's just need to be a var. Change this to a var as well. Okay, so we've got this because I don't really need to as a message because I don't want to add any additional text. So let's do a var. Yeah, debug var. We've got. Let's see if we've got some happiness here now. I think it's some formatting issue most likely. Okay, so let's try that now. Just removing the names. It's also moaning about that as well. Let's see. Has it got any more moaning to do? Yep, okay, so it doesn't like. This one doesn't like me very much at all. So when I'm in doubt, I always go to the better format. So name equals HTTPD, state, started, enabled, yes. Let's try that again. See if anything else is going to moan about. Okay, so now it's moaning about something else. Okay, so it doesn't like my debug stuff. So let's just. So if you're unsure, hashtag stuff out. I think that's what it is. See, this is. As soon as I've done that, that's moved there. I think it's just another formatting rubbish. So we've got this. That's fine. We're registering in the same line. Debug looks okay. So maybe it's just that. Let's see. It is very finicky to say the least sometimes. So we are still stuck in the same place. So that's okay. It's not. Okay, so I've done it debug. So it definitely looks like my formatting is just shocking. Okay. I let this do the magic. Sometimes my that looks okay. It's a one line simple command. The other one's a bit more complex. Okay, so you're registering. Let's see. Does that do the magic? Line 20 now, column 13. Line 20, column 13. It still doesn't like my debug. I think we just need some room. Let's try. Okay, so what I've added additionally is it looks like I forgot for the debugs to put the name field and then actually format debug nicely. So yeah, we've got the two options in debug. We have var, which we can call out the actual vars I've registered, which basically will be the output of whatever I run. And we've also got a debug message as well. So I've just got a manual message I can set when I've got a specific output. So I've added the name fields to filter it correctly, and I think this should now run. We shall see. Yep, so that's good now. So it's, again, formatting is key, and it'll do your head in sometimes. But you just got to go back through and just work your way through and make sure you got all the spaces correctly. Also, all your the formatting is correct. You have all the relevant name fields. It's a bit of a minefield sometimes going back through it. But if there's a piece of code that's potentially you're not sure if it's working or not, just basically commenting it out and keep running until it works, and then you know potentially where the code is an issue. Because I noticed a lot of time, especially with Ansible, it gives you a line, but it doesn't give you that much on that line. So you get a very high level. It might be that area, but it doesn't give you the exact line that could be causing the issue. So yeah, commenting stuff out is sometimes the best way. But yeah, look for formatting errors, potentially missed declarations, and that sort of thing as well. So I've got a variable is not defined. So that means some reason I haven't defined the variable. So I'll have a look at what's happened there. So we've got something good. So let's have a go to the very top here. So what have we got? So we've got the install. We installed Apache on the client one because it's the only one we really care about. We checked the server status. It's done that. It's updated the config. I've got variable not defined, so it's actually not a good thing, but we'll go check what I've done wrong here. We've got the config file is valid, so it's actually changed. So we've got a debug of the config file check, and we have this could not reliably define. Okay, so we've got the domain name issue. In real production we probably wouldn't have this issue, but basically in the config I haven't set this server name, so that's fine, that's okay. But I've got a syntax okay message, so I know I'm okay to continue. We then copy the website files. We then check if the index file has been updated, and we just confirmed here with a successful update of the file. That means that grep has worked. So we've got most of it working apart from this one here. So we just check, so it's the get debug of copy, to get the get and debug of the copy of it's not best word in there, but let's have a look at that section in here. So get a debug, whoops, when insert debug of the copy. So I registered copy underscore output. We're then asking for that. So we may need to approach this in a different way. So it's not getting us what we want. So maybe we can, rather than faffing with this, let's do something a bit more clever. We can check the file has been updated. Let's try this now. Okay, that's cool. So it's happy now. So we can see when it's been last updated and all that good stuff. Cool. Successful update of the file. So we can just do the final check, I suppose, is probably the manual one. We could probably do a curl potentially command, but we could only really check the return code, which doesn't give you that much information. We could potentially do something with Selenium or something like that, but sometimes the most simple checks are the easiest. So I'm just going to visit the website and make sure it all works. This is the home page here, so it's 10.02.8, and that was the example paragraph page we had earlier. Fantastic. So everything's all happily working on that server, and so we can potentially repeatedly build servers. Potentially once client 2 and 3 come online, we could just rerun this command and it can reliably build them back up from that image. So from that Ansible script, sorry. That's pretty much all I want to cover for this. I hope this video has been useful, and thanks for watching as always, and I'll catch you next video. Cheers. Bye. Right now I've just popped up on the screen my TeePublic page. That's for any kind of CSG merch, if that's anything you're interested in. Got my Ko-fi page for any kind donations, if that's something you're interested in. Yep, and also just the details of my Discord server, so that's the best place to ask questions. Also, we've got, obviously, you can ask questions in the comments and I'll try and help out where I can, but Discord place is a great place. We've got a bit of a community going there, and you can reach out to myself and also the community, and someone will try and help you. Yeah, it's a great community we're building there. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you at the next video. Cheers.